5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So Reese Davis is talking to Todd McShay, and he's like, Todd, break down cannonballs. How does he project at the next level? Todd goes, Balls is a unicorn riding on an elephant, hunting saber-toothed octopus from a gyrocopter. He's basically John Elway meets Larry Allen meets Charlie Sheen, circa Tiger Blood, but without the AIDS, which I felt was fair.
Tiger Blood.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Scafacci verse.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Scafacci verse. Thank you for joining us today. Please remember, go out there. I want you to like, share, follow, put it on auto download.
Yes.
Right? Rate the podcast.
We watch when the downloads first come in, when an episode releases, and we're like, how many people are getting it like in the first couple hours?
Yeah, or immediately.
Yeah, because we release them at like 3 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
And that should be you.
Yeah.
Get it. Have that shit waiting for you.
Yeah. And, once a week, man, that's all we're asking. Give us 30 minutes
30 minutes a week. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
And we'll make you laugh.
That's right.
Make you
We
cry.
will. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll make you question
poop
your
pants.
life.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And share that questioning with other people.
Yeah.
Hey, you got, like you're riding in the car, right? You got a captive audience. Maybe make your kids listen to it.
That's what I say. Right? Make your kids listen to the show.
Hey, and if your kids listen to it,
Make them
download it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that we get more download.
Yeah. See if you can get them to rate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good times. Dude, speaking of captives, our sponsor for, we have Just the Tip today, of course, like we always have. And our sponsor for Just the Tip is one of our new ones. It's Dumper, that app that hooks you up with toilets.
Dude, so it's great that you actually bring this up. And that they just happen to pick this episode.
Right.
Because the other day at work, dude, I'm out on a service call.
Oh, dude, you'd be lucky to find an episode where they wouldn't have timed it with and we just had to take an emergency shit.
So
yeah, go ahead.
And dude, all of a sudden, I'm like middle of the service call, and you get that feeling in your stomach.
Oh, dude,
and
I know.
And right away, I'm like, holy dude, I got to shit.
Right. It's happening now. It's coming.
And it's like it's gonna be bad.
Right.
I know based on what's going on in my stomach.
Right.
That this is a.
Did you have Roberto's for breakfast or something?
No, I didn't. I ate a pretty normal breakfast.
Sometimes it just happens. Dude, maybe too much fiber.
It was fucking now and immediate, and I knew it was gonna be bad.
Dude,
right?
And how does your asshole know how far away the toilet is?
I don't know.
How do it know?
Yeah.
Because if that toilet were like 3 feet further away, you'd shit your pants.
And so, dude, I open up my phone.
Right. Yeah. Put on Dumper.
I go to Dumper.
Yeah, you go to Dumper, yeah.
And right away,
the GPS kicks in.
There's a bunch of shows available.
Right.
But like I need immediate access. I need something close.
Right. So right away, you crank the urgency all the way to the top.
Well, and you sort by distance.
Right, exactly.
Right? So that you know. Yeah. And so I look, and there's one, dude, it's a few houses down. So I swipe right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
please be a match. Please be a match.
And
please accept.
Yeah.
Please accept.
And dude, a couple seconds later, boom. Right?
Right.
It says dude, and the little map pops up.
Right.
And I'm, oh fuck, dude. So I tell my partners, dude, I'll be back.
Right.
Right. And I head off, dude.
And what's great about Dumper, you don't have to knock on the door.
No.
They know you're coming. It's unlocked.
Yeah.
That's a policy.
Yeah,
Open door policy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. And so, dude, I'm going. And I'm like, dude, ass cheeks clenched. And I'm doing
waddling down the sidewalk.
Dude, and it's not hot out. And I'm fucking sweating.
Oh, yeah.
And, dude, that was the longest 300 feet of my life.
Right.
Right.
But dude, if you didn't have Dumper,
dude,
that's it. You're shitting your pants.
That's it. Yeah. It's dig a hole or find something.
Or you have to pray because people don't realize that businesses are on Dumper too.
Yeah.
And so you go into 7-Eleven, hey man, can I use it? No, man.
Dude,
employees only.
And especially now, dude, so many places are not for public use. Which I don't know how the fuck they get away with that.
Yeah.
So anyway. So, dude.
But, dude, that same 7-Eleven, if that clerk is just trying to make a little scratch on the side, he puts that 7-Eleven on Dumper. Now you can use it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I get to the house. Dude, it's got a little.
You scratch your ass, I scratch mine.
It's got a little short flight of stairs, 3 steps up into the house.
Right.
Dude, I open the door.
Yep.
Dude, and thankfully, it's right there. Hallway.
Right. And you can see it if you hold your phone up,
you
can see it'll guide
it's
you right
virtual.
to it. Virtual reality or augmented reality, they call it. Yeah.
Right. And dude, I go in there, dude, I shut the door.
And kablooey.
Dude, and proceed to violate this guy's toilet, dude. I just violate it in ways that will never this person was a saint. And dude, the cost, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for what you get for it? Oh my God, dude, I would pay 10 times as much.
There's no better value.
Yeah, that's it. There's no better value on an app than there is for this. Yeah.
Dude, I shit.
Except maybe Grindr.
Yeah. Dude, I shit like, dude, after it was over, like I was sweating.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it was like a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
And I finished and dude.
You swear by it.
Yeah, it was a fucking lifesaver.
So, some people will gussy up their bathrooms to make them more attractive on Dumper or to give you a little better experience.
Well, or they burn a candle ahead of time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Little things like little mints or,
or they
whatever.
have magazines to read.
Right.
Things
And you can see all this stuff. Like, if it's not as urgent.
Soft toilet paper.
Right. Then you can
a bidet.
scroll
Dude,
through.
if you get a bidet.
Well, and that's where I'm going with it. Because the other day, like, I had a big breakfast, but it wasn't urgent. But I knew, like, I was going to be in there for a while, and I just wanted to treat myself. And so I, scroll through, and, dude, I found a place in the neighborhood I was already in.
Nice.
That had, like, one of those Japanese toilets.
Dude, yeah.
And it had, like, the waterfall sounds, and they had... a place to charge your cell phone. And, like, it was fucking glorious, dude. Yeah. And I was ready to take my lunch break in there. Like, it was fucking nice,
You got to make sure you give a good rating and leave a review.
Yeah, leave a review. Yeah, always leave a review. But, yeah, dude, that's like, is this place on Airbnb? Because I would come back here. I would stay in this bathroom.
Just so you can take a shit.
Yeah, just for taking shits. Yeah. So, it gets you on both ends, if you will.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a lifesaver.
Yeah, great sponsor.
All right.
So we have other stuff, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about other things? Just the tip.
Yeah.
They're sponsoring Just
I was waiting for you to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll give you an easy one. Guys, there's this website. Maybe some of you have heard of this website. It's called Brazzers. Well,
yes, we've heard of it.
You may not know this. I'm going to open your ears because I got big news, guys. Brazzers, it's free.
For real?
Yeah, it's free. Brazzers is free.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it almost has to be. Like, who has to pay for porn?
I don't know. But I heard, like I'll hear that 16 times in a session, if you will. Yeah. Brazzers is free, so I figured I better let people know. Like, it's obviously
Have you ever tried to find out if it's free?
No, I've never gone on to Brazzers. Because where I'm at is already free.
Yeah, you don't need to go anywhere but the hub.
Yeah. Right, and I'm on the hub. The commercial comes up. It's this chick getting banged, and she's like, Brazzers is free. Yeah, this is already free.
Yeah.
What am I getting at Brad?
I don't know.
This is a question for our audience, specifically Chris Johnson, probably. Is what is on these sites that's worth paying for? That's
I don't know.
Different. Like, I get OnlyFans, like you have this fantasy that you have an interaction with the model or something.
I've never used OnlyFans.
Yeah, except for you look up like where to find the free leaks off of OnlyFans. Yeah, that's it.
And I'm sure someone in our audience, I mean, we have like 74,000 people.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm sure someone has like at least paid for someone's OnlyFans. And I'm
obviously
curious.
Plenty of people are paying for it.
Right? And I'm curious, like,
those people are heroes too. Yeah. Because that content wouldn't exist.
Like I wonder, dude, this is going to be a hell of an episode, but I wonder, if
I don't even remember what the episode's about.
What's it cost to get a chick to hit herself with a fish?
And that's...
Like, do you have to also send her the fish?
To me, that's what the appeal would be of OnlyFans. Is like you can put in requests, you get like special access or something like that. But generally, I just want to see the goods.
I only need like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to see the goods and that's it.
Yeah.
I could see, like there are certainly women who have like a personal connection with or a particular attraction to who I would pay to see them naked.
Well, dude,
and if for some reason it wasn't available,
like
leaked,
if Prime Jennifer Love Hewitt were
on
right,
exactly. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, maybe I'll pay $15 for a month and then,
$15.
And then you get your month out of it,
yeah.
And then that's probably fine. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, dude, I have a short list of, like these super prize women that would be like, but dude, would I pay for it? I don't think so.
There's already so many hot chicks out there.
Yeah, it's like nowadays, dude, we're inundated.
Yeah.
With like dude, you just any Instagram, dude, there's plenty of like regular thirsty hot chicks that are like, here's virtually everything
on
and
the
it's
Instagram
free,
search page. It's all like super hot chicks.
Yeah.
At least mine is. And I saw this funny video, this reel, where there was all these couples at like having a nice lunch, And one of the girls like, oh, I've got a fun game. Let's see what comes up on all of our Instagram search pages. And the girls are like, oh, mine's all recipes. Mine's all dog videos. And all the guys are like breaking their phones, throwing it into the soup and shit. Yeah. Good times.
That's how it goes.
Dude, when I was high school age, high school girls were bionic. They were the best, man. That's all they're as good as it gets. And college girls too. And you think like, well, as I get older, you know, all that goes away. Like they're getting older. All these girls are going to age out. But dude, it turns out they just keep making more of them.
Yeah.
And they get refreshed with new crops all the time.
Goddamn Matthew McConaughey's character.
Right. Yeah. I keep getting older and they stay the same age. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he is correct.
Yeah.
He is correct. Yeah.
So, all right. So,
do we have a topic today?
We do. We're not just fucking out here rambling for the sake of ourselves.
Okay.
All right. Look, so we are coming up to the very end of the run of College Football 25, the number one selling sports game of all time. Right?
Yes.
But
no, number one selling football game of all time.
Football time.
Yep.
Yeah. So, right, it is the number one selling football game of all time. And you know, it's time to like look back now on that game and try to step back from our fandom and give it like honest grades. Okay, I talked about this on our page, on the headquarters page.
Right.
And that post has like 10,000 like
views
responses.
And
yeah,
responses. It got a lot of
It's
action.
got a lot, right?
Yep.
And I don't think you ever graded it. And so even though I tried to get you to do it,
right.
I know you're a busy man. So let's talk about the overall big general snapshot.
Okay.
If you have to grade, we'll go kind of step by step through like the different
All right.
things.
So we'll give it an overall grade and then we'll go into the details.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to go first since I didn't out myself on the page?
Yeah, because you never gave your own opinion. So give me a letter grade.
Okay.
And if you want to assign like a point to it out of 100 or whatever, what do you give the overall?
Okay. The overall, I give it a B+.
Okay, that's what I give.
And if I'm giving it a number, 69.
That's a D+.
Yeah, but not in my book.
Yeah, okay.
No.
So
all right, so a B+ because the game fulfilled my expectations. You know, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's playable, but there are some definite weaknesses that it feels like it just wasn't fully thought out.
Okay, so
we'll get into that.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
So I also gave it a B+. I said like an 87.
Okay.
Right. So like right there in the low B+ range. Right. And kind of the same thing. Like as a comeback.
Yeah.
After 10 years, dude, it's hard to ask for more. Now a lot of people are like,
the nostalgia
they
aspect.
had 10 years to make this.
Right, but
no,
they
didn't.
No,
they didn't have 10 years. Right. Somewhere along the way, they got the funding to do it. They got the green light from like EA. They're going to spend the money on the game.
Right. On the likenesses.
Yeah. And then they started making the game. And, I guess in theory, they could have put it off, like GTA 6, which will never come.
Right.
And it made the perfect game.
I can't believe we got 50 episodes of the Scafaci-verse before GTA 6.
Right? Seriously. Right? So, but, for me, it's a solid B+. It pretty much hit, like, all the marks that you needed it to hit.
Right. And the feel, the vibe.
Yeah.
More than anything, because there's a reason people buy college football rather than Madden or in addition to Madden. It's for all the shit that people talk on the page, it's just reskin Madden. It's not,
Fuck
dude.
those people.
It plays, exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck those people.
Yeah.
It plays different. The feel is different. The speed is different.
Everything's
it's a different game.
Yeah. It's a different game. The only thing similar,
it's football game. Yeah.
It's still football.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So, all right. So I wanted to get into that, but now we're going to go down kind of like into the different modes. All right.
Okay.
And so the first,
I saved number 2 for last because that's the one I think we're going to have the most thoughts on because that's what we.
Okay.
All right. So let's skip that one.
Let's go right then to Road to Glory.
Okay. Cool.
We'll do Road to Glory first.
All right. That's cool. Because
So
when I started playing, that was actually the first thing I played just to kind of get a feel for the game.
Okay. So for me, I was a huge fan of Road to Glory in the older games. I thought that while it still had its faults, it was straightforward enough and good enough that it gave you a good experience. You were going to get 5 seasons, 4 college plus 1 high school season. And it was enough. You could play it out.
It was really playable and replayable.
Yeah, and you could just keep playing it. And it had, you could play corner, you could play linebacker, you could play defensive end, you could play quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Right.
It hit pretty much everything.
It checked all the boxes.
Yeah, like the only thing you couldn't do is be an offensive lineman.
Right. Or a kicker.
But I don't think you could play tight end either.
I don't think so either.
But for the most part, it hit all the things, and it was straightforward enough. There wasn't a lot of bullshit, a lot of frill.
That was something that Weisbecker demanded in the development team. He's like, no, I am tight end. That's it. Nobody else.
And so, but in the new game when it came out, I was really excited to play Road to Glory.
Yep.
And of all the things, this is the one I give the lowest overall grade to. To me, it's like a C-. I thought it was just poorly implemented on a lot of levels.
There's a couple of really glaring weaknesses.
Yeah.
So one of them, the thing that I found the most frustrating about the old Road to Glory on 14 was play selection.
Sure.
Where they're going to call the same plays over and over again. And then on top of that, when you get to where you can change the plays, like it's always the same fucking play.
Yeah.
And dude, there are times when I'll press triangle to change the play, and then the two plays on the side are the exact same play. What the fuck? How hard is it to give me just 3 different plays?
And in this, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Like they didn't change that.
Right. That's one of the things that didn't get fixed in the new game. The play selection still just isn't there.
Yeah. The only way around it is to audible, and then you could go through the different formations you have and essentially pick any of like
have
4
to do a
plays.
workaround.
Yeah, that's the thing is you shouldn't have to do a workaround. And
how hard could it be to just, even if they just fucking randomize it?
Yeah.
Then let it randomize.
Exactly. Give you like 2 runs and a pass or 2 passes and a run.
Right.
Something.
Dude.
Right. And no, it's still the same. And
but that's not the big problem.
No, there's a lot of... So first they killed off the high school, which supposedly is coming back.
Yeah, I don't miss it, but I get why people do. Yeah.
Right. I liked it because you didn't always end up as a 5-star.
Yeah,
you
that's
couldn't
true.
just choose to be a 5-star.
Right.
Which now you can.
Well, and you couldn't choose to be a 2-star.
No.
Unless you like tanked it for whatever reason. Yeah.
Right, and who offered you scholarships was kind of like felt random.
Yeah.
Where now it's like you just pick the school you want to go to, which you could kind of do before.
Yeah.
But you just kind of pick the school you go to, and it's not the genesis of your player is not as fun as it used to be.
Right. It doesn't feel as involved, as real, as personal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I
even the questions that like your advisor asks you,
they're all
how do you feel
meaningless.
about coaches?
Yeah.
Do you want an experienced coach or whatever?
Fuck it. None of that matters. Right. So that's the first part. The second part is once you get there, I don't give a fuck about my GPA. Like,
but I mean, the idea there was to mimic the college athlete's experience, where you have to balance these time pressures.
Yeah, except but it's not realistic. It doesn't impact the game really. I mean, look, you just do enough to stay eligible.
Yeah.
Right? Because it doesn't really do anything for you.
Well, you get like the clear-headed, or you get a bonus for it, but
who gives a shit?
Right. Well, dude, I'm the kind of guy though. I always
had that 4.0 GPA.
Yeah, I always don't play my senior year, or I always don't go to class my senior year. I've always graduated early.
Yeah.
But the problem is by then it's too late to build your player up.
Yeah.
To where you need them.
And so the advancement system, which in this is fucking terrible too. Like with the skill points.
Yeah.
Like you don't get them fast enough.
I agree. There's not enough skill points. You can't really boost
if you
your
start
player.
as like a 1-star or a 2-star.
Yeah.
Dude, you'll never get good. Right. Like,
and then even if you earn your way into that starting lineup, every year it resets.
Yeah. And so on top of that, it just goes to shit anyway.
Yeah. And then you've got like 6 games before you can get back to the starting lineup again.
And Road to Glory, it's not like I don't mind building myself up through the depth chart, but
if you earn that trust, you should keep that trust.
Well, and on top of that, like if you're like the second string running back, you get like 1 carry.
Yeah. That's annoying as well.
And then you're taken out anyway.
Or you come in as wide receiver.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
it's like
what
fucking
the fuck?
stupid, right?
Yeah,
so
that is.
And then I want to real quick hit the mini games. I think they fucking suck. I think they all suck. They all suck bad. Like with the running back one, just stick to the ones on the main page. You don't need the fucking skill ones.
Right.
Like
the ones where you dodge the big tennis ball.
Yeah, fuck all that, right?
Yeah.
And then like
or
the
smear the queer or whatever, where you run away from the defenders
on the kickoff and all that.
Yeah.
The defensive one, or not the defensive one, the fucking quarterback one where you gotta like throw it through targets.
Right,
like, dude,
you gotta line up the target.
Headquarters
right
page. I mean, fucking roast me if I'm wrong.
Right.
But dude, all you need is the fucking passing tree one.
Yeah,
the
dude,
skeleton
the skeleton drill.
and just fucking throw passes.
Yeah, so skeleton drill is good.
Yeah.
And I use that most of the time. But then there's also where like it gets easy where you're just going to get gold every single time.
Yeah.
Like if you do regular skeleton.
Yeah. Without the additional players.
Right.
Yeah, you can just pick them apart.
And dude, that's another stupid thing is like if you do skeleton outmanned or whatever the harder one is, it's just harder. You don't get like more points for doing the harder version. It's just harder.
And you still only get your like 3 receivers.
Yeah,
like you should have like sometimes there's 4 receivers or sometimes there's 5 receivers and there could be more defensive backs.
I hear you.
Is that really that hard to program?
That part doesn't bother me as much as you do something that's harder for the exact same benefit.
Yeah.
You know, you should get more skill points if you do harder challenges or something like that. But yeah, you don't get much for it. It feels pointless. And eventually I get to the point where I just simulate practice.
Yeah, I never simulated practice, but what do you get? Do you get like, does it give you like the equivalent of silver every time?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah.
But all you're getting, that's another thing that's stupid, is all you're getting is more coach trust, right? You're not getting skill points for doing this. You get more coach trust. Well, once you get to become a starter, all you get is more plays that you can change.
Which is, once again, kind of harkens back to there's not enough variety.
Yeah. Like, dude, you should, if there were thresholds, like first you get to choose, you get 1 choice, you know, then you get 2 choices. Then at some point it open up the whole playbook. And you call your own plays.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, something like that, some sort of progression. But to put in this work to go from, I used to could change 17 plays, now I can change 18 plays.
Ooh.
Who fucking cares?
Well, and I don't even use them at home.
Yeah.
Right? I just audible anytime, every fucking play. I'm just audible.
Yeah.
And then I kind of call
It's not
plays.
well thought out.
No, it's not well thought out. They could definitely do better there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Road to Glory, I'd never made a defensive player. I'd made one.
I've done it linebacker.
And how was it?
It's okay. You can get points. Like you get points for dropping into coverage in the right spot. You get points for covering well. But dude, covering is very difficult.
Yeah.
Because you just can't react in real time.
Well, and you can't be a defensive lineman anymore. It's linebackers and corners and safety, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've only played middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And the problem is like you can progress, right? It's okay. You can do it. You can be a starter. You can win in the mini games.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, doesn't have that depth. It doesn't give you. It's not.
Yeah.
that
I mean,
good.
I think the missing ingredient there is to give it more of a story. Right, so that you could like be on like the cover of like ESPN and you could do this and you could do that. Have some real choices.
And if they want to do the stuff where you have like these interactions with the coach, then have them count for something and really like develop a story.
Yeah, exactly. Right, and you
where
should
the
be
things
able
you do are going to have an impact.
Well, and you know, like you could have like some small cinematics and stuff like that. It's not that hard. I mean, fucking WWE games do it.
I don't know. I mean, I couldn't do it, but I'm sure game developers can pull that off.
they could do it, right? There's enough.
We're not asking for like Red Dead Redemption level of openness.
No, but like they could have like definite.
Yeah, something.
You know,
dude, at least match the choose your own adventure novels that we had as kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where you could go through. Yeah.
So I give that a C-. What do you give Road to Glory?
I give it a C. I do find it playable, and it's a good way to build your skills without going into the full game. I like that it plays quicker. You know, that's good. But, yeah, it needs a lot of work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, next.
Road to the college football playoff. So
all right,
playing
this is an online game. Yep.
Yeah. Right. Playing online against random players. Okay. So back in the old games, playing online against a lobby was my favorite thing to do. Go into the lobby. Hey, who wants to play a game? Let's do this. You could see everybody's records, and there was a clear rankings, and you know the lobby was always full, and there was a lot of people that you kind of knew, and all this, and then you would do, you know, hey, let's play, and
you could preset like I want to play with low ranked teams.
Yeah,
I'm going to play with 2-star teams
5-minute
or whatever.
quarters.
Yeah,
and it was good. Yeah, right, and it's like, and the lobby there was a community.
Right.
It's like you knew who the good players were, and you could call those fuckers out, and you could play those games. Right. Road to college football playoff, my opinion, it's fucking garbage, dude. It's garbage. It's 3-minute quarters. So it's like
Yeah.
It opens the door to like, oh, I'm just going to run the clock.
Right.
Not saying that that's not a legitimate strategy, but dude, you're not fucking playing football anymore.
Right. You
know?
get one possession,
Yeah.
last the whole half.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or I mean, like, there's guys that play, they'll run the clock plus play hurry up. So they kill the clock and go fast at the same time.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, which is bullshit, right? You know, the idea of going through like a kind of like a pseudo season and getting to a college football playoff and then winning like the championship, and then you go up to the next tier and the next level. But like, dude, it's online games, man. Everybody's gonna use the best few teams.
Right.
You know, they're gonna. That's what you're gonna play against. You're gonna play like a constant, steady stream of like Ohio State, Alabama.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
you know,
the other good
the
teams.
Georgia, the
Yeah,
top
LSU.
teams, LSU.
Yeah.
You can just play those over and over and over again.
Right.
You know, and there's no real variety. It's not like, dude, if you pick like I'll be a tier 5 team, you're still gonna fucking play Georgia.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
if I decide I'm going to be the Nevada Wolfpack,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
going to
still
be
gonna-
going up against Georgia.
yeah, it's still Georgia, still Alabama,
Right.
and then on top of it, since it's online, it's cutthroat as fuck. I mean, people are playing. It's straight fucking cheese.
Right.
Like as much as humanly possible. And dude, there's no pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Right.
You know, it's not like, once again, man, Auburn ain't calling you, bro. You're not going to be their head coach.
Right.
Okay? Like that
Yeah.
shit's not happening,
Well, then so what grade do you give it?
dude.
Yeah.
Dude, like a C. Like
Okay.
they got to bring back the lobby, dude. Just bring back the fucking lobby.
No, there you go.
5-minute quarters. Get in
Right.
there. Fucking get it done, man. Let's play head to head.
All right. I give it an incomplete because I never played.
You never played
I
it?
never played it.
Oh, it sucks.
No.
Okay.
And same with the next thing that we're going to grade. I also give that an incomplete.
Yeah,
College
cut,
Ultimate
right,
Team.
Ultimate Team. Yeah, I played a little bit of Ultimate Team. One of
Okay.
our previous guests, Matt Brown.
Yeah.
That's what he really likes to play.
Yeah.
That one, honestly, it's not bad because you can play like squads, which is kind of cool.
What
right?
is
So like me
squads?
and you could play kind of like on the same team.
Oh,
like-
that's cool.
Yeah, and you could play up to 4 people, and it's like one guy's the quarterback, and
Dude,
yeah, it's actually
like
kind of
that.
cool, right?
Yeah.
That stuff's kind of cool. But it's now you got to get multiple people together to play, which could
Right.
be difficult.
Yep.
2, money counts, dude. Money talks. Like,
Oh, yeah, sure. You can buy your
You
way
could-
to a better team.
you can buy your way to
Which
a better
that's the
team.
whole reason College Ultimate Team exists.
Yeah,
Just
you know,
for
same thing for
microtransactions.
Madden. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, dude, it's if you don't want to play it, don't play it.
Yeah.
you know, but I think it's good.
Okay.
Because the game, it's regular games in this
Okay.
case. You know, but you're playing with your buddies and shit like that. So I think
Right.
in that,
And you're playing with the best players.
Yeah, and
right? That's how
and
that's
it's fun,
intended.
yeah, 'cause you have,
Is
like,
it
these-
like you open packs?
yes,
and
you open.
Okay.
You
All
open
right, that's
packs
cool.
and maybe you get like John Elway or something
Right.
like that, or you get
Yeah.
fucking
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, Reggie Bush or
Yeah,
whatever,
something
you know,
like
and it's
that.
kind of cool, right? And so yeah, that part of it's kind of cool because you get to collect cards and
Right.
there's kind of like an industry, an online kind of like commerce and stuff
Right.
like that, and so that's cool. I didn't play a lot of it, but it's fine. There's challenges you can do to earn more coins, shit
Okay.
like that. So it's pretty good.
All right.
Like I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
So now
I'm
let's
just such a cheap bastard
Yeah, well,
that I
yeah,
never
dude.
wanted to even open that
I know
door.
people that are spending fucking buku
Yeah.
on Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
Right? No thanks, man. Right?
Yeah.
So,
I forget what celebrity was talking about it, but he was playing I think it was Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
And he's talking about playing like Call of Duty against his kids or one
Yeah.
of those online games. And he's getting his ass kicked. And then he's like, and then I suddenly realized, wait a minute, I'm rich.
Yeah.
And he just bought all the
Yeah.
top stuff and then started kicking everybody.
Oh yeah, all the legendary items
exactly.
and shit like that. Yeah. So yeah, and I mean that's the thing. You could load your team out with like the best
Yeah.
players just by just having money.
Right.
And so
there
it's
you
kind of
go.
cool, right?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I get why EA does that.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I'm all good for EA to make money.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't
fuck-
begrudge
yeah.
them that.
No, not at all.
Especially because it's voluntary.
Okay, so now let's get
All
to
right,
the
so
big
what's
one.
your grade?
I give it like a B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, so now we get to the
big one.
Well, let's do 3 first. Well, yeah, because they're kind of together. All right, so now we'll do 2, the Dynasty.
Yeah. So Dynasty,
Yeah.
both I'm going to count online, offline as the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's fine.
Right. I give it a very, very strong either B+ or A-.
Yeah, I'm right there
Right.
with you.
I think it could be done better. I think there are holes in it.
Okay.
But as far as like replayability,
Very
like
playable.
ease, all the different things you could do, I think they nailed the dynasty pretty hard.
I agree.
I mean, are there things that they could fix? Sure, absolutely. There's things you can always fix.
Right.
But I mean, dude,
that's the main reason people buy the game, and it works well.
Yeah, it works well. It's absolutely replayable. Mm-hmm. Everybody says, oh, yeah, they should have went bigger, more than 30 years, so you could do long. But honestly, man, they know most people don't fucking finish 5.
Yeah, right.
So,
who's the guest we had on Frank Cobble?
Frank Cobble.
Yeah, right.
It's like
he's
the one guy
playing.
knocking out
Right.
60-year
and
dynasties.
he's still playing 14 anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So
right?
he ain't their target.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'd be nice if it was a little longer, but 30 seasons is plenty.
Yeah, and there's some things that they modified that I really like. Like your coaching maxes out at level 50.
Yeah.
And so you can't just be at tops at everything. You got to kind of pick and choose.
I actually think that they should add more to the coaching tree skills wise.
Okay.
As they go, it should be more diverse.
Okay.
I think they should also be like base fundamental skills. Mm-hmm. And then, like, you would pick your lineage, for example. So, like, maybe you're like Jelly, you're a linebackers coach.
Okay.
And so your linebackers would always get, like, a bit more of a bonus.
Sure.
Or if you're a quarterbacks coach, maybe your quarterbacks would get, like, an inherent bonus.
Sure.
And then as you move up.
I mean, that's kind of where you put your early recruiting points.
Sure.
But, yeah, if you're choosing, like, an archetype for your coach.
Yeah. Well, maybe you're a recruiter, but, like, recruiter, coach, it doesn't just only recruit. That guy like still does X's and O's and shit like that. But he's a good recruiter or a good motivator or he's a X's and O's guy. So I'd like to see more diversity there. I'd like where you pick like your base starting coach's position.
Okay.
Like a linebackers coach or DB's coach or whatever. Maybe you could be like Baphomet, help with the kickers.
Yeah. It would be interesting even to start as a position coach and work your way up to
I think it's
coordinator.
like the equivalent to coaching Road to Glory.
Yeah, right. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's future pie in the sky stuff. You don't expect that in this iteration anyway.
Right. So I do think that they got to add more customization to the coaches because they got like two jackets and shit like that.
Right. You really need to be able to make your coach look like you. Even the idea that you could upload your own face to
absolutely,
the coach. Like a lot of games have that.
Yeah, fucking PGA golf and all that.
Right. It seems very achievable.
Yeah. So that I do like that. I'm not a big fan of having the real players. I don't
picture
give
of
a
my
shit.
nutsack.
Yes. Give him a beard.
With the
some
beard,
googly eyes, right?
Yeah, it'll think it's a face because it probably won't let you take a picture of your nutsack. But if you put googly eyes on it,
if you put googly eyes, it'd be all right.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Yeah.
All right.
So
next game.
Right.
It just looks like Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah. So I do like that you have the rosters, but I'm a big fan of the recruiting aspects of the game. Right. And I think they did the recruiting pretty good.
Yeah, they kind of found that balance.
I think they need to make it a little harder to recruit.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to adjust the difficulty
of your recruiting.
Yeah.
And because it's too easy, right, for the start, no matter where you are, just get 3 stars.
Yeah.
We talked about this
3 stars are infinite.
a few times.
Yeah.
Right?
They'll make your team competitive.
Yeah, and it should be harder to recruit in general, so you can't just jump right to 3 stars.
Right.
You should have to, like, if you're a 1-star program,
you're getting mostly 1-star
yeah,
recruits.
maybe you get that 1 3-star guy.
And that would make scouting more important.
Yeah.
Because when you're a 1-star team, you just go after 3-star guys, and who cares? They're going to be better than what you have.
And see, I'd like for them to add things where, like, if maybe as when you're the head coach or whatever, you could, like, put like resource points into scouting and it just automatically scouts. Maybe you do it like it's a scouting, or you do like conditioning, or you do different aspects.
Well, I think the coaching tree is kind of like that. Like it'll make scouting easier where it takes less points to scout.
But what I'm saying is, like, from the start, like, maybe scouting isn't that important to you because it usually isn't to me. I could give a shit. I don't. Once I'm out of the preseason, I don't fucking scout again. I don't spend any points on that, right? So, but like general scouting would be good, and if maybe your scouts are out there and they find you a player, that would make it kind of cool. Like, hey, we found this kid. He's a tight end over in Mississippi, and like now he's on your radar.
Well, you have to spend resources on that,
but
and recruiting. Scouting is not that different from what you're saying. It would just be the way they frame it.
Yeah.
You know, it would be similar to like when you're upgrading your coaching skill for player development, that they would change it where in the game, like you're upgrading your athletic facilities.
Sure.
Which would be really nice if that shit could change over the course of the game. Because fucking A, my school still has D+ athletic facilities and we've been national champions multiple times.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that stuff should
You're
change.
still on that shoestring
And
budget.
dude, and what do you, like, it would be nice to have more control over, like, have an athletic director mode where you can do things like try to up your academic prestige.
They should just hire Matt Brown.
Yeah, right. They got to bring Matt Brown in.
Yeah,
just like they did with the revamp guys.
Yeah.
They got to bring in Matt Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But the recruiting, also, I'd like for them to go back to less of a streamlined recruiting where it's like 40 hours. You just spend your 40 hours.
Oh.
Like, I liked in 13 when it was like questions and you had to like kind of go back and forth.
Right.
And kind of hunt and peck a little bit to kind of pick what's
Right.
important.
It was a little more involved.
And do these pitches.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with you.
Yeah. And I also bring back promises. Like, they didn't have that.
Well, they have it like if your player wants to leave, then you can make a promise.
I want to be able to promise a motherfucker he's going to get to be an astronaut.
Right.
You know.
To bring them in.
Yeah, to bring
like
them
you
in.
could try to like shoot the moon.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, if you come in, you're going to be a starter year one.
How would you like to be a brain surgeon?
Right. And then if that doesn't happen,
Yeah.
or you're recruiting some running back and you're like, yeah, I guarantee you're going to get 1,000 yards in your first season.
Exactly.
And then when that doesn't happen, there's real consequences.
That it costs you.
That
right?
A, that player's going to leave. B, you like knock down your prestige, stuff like that.
Or like the
makes it harder to recruit
your
other running backs.
credibility.
Your credibility, right?
You know,
exactly.
so-
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, they didn't add that, and then the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Right, the portal is not that great. A, not enough people enter it compared to like real life.
Right.
B,
yeah.
Like early on, it seemed like the portal was like a fucking gold mine. But
Right.
once you're recruiting like good players, it seems like now you can't fucking
it's
get
a funny
anybody.
thing how when you're a shitty team, players want to transfer to
Yeah.
you, but when you're a good team,
No.
they don't.
Yeah.
And like that ain't right.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's
right?
not the way it works.
Okay, so I like, but overall, I give the recruiting like very, very good marks. The presentation, I give very good marks. The way teams progress, I give good marks to. Like, as your prestige climbs and things
Right.
like that.
Yeah. And it doesn't climb too fast.
No, it doesn't climb
Yeah.
too fast.
But there's not a big payoff. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter enough. Also,
Yeah,
you know,
well-
as we said.
Well, like if you're at West Lafayette University or
Yeah,
some small
UL
school or
Lafayette,
whatever,
yeah.
and you win 2 national titles, it should matter, but it really doesn't. I mean, like
Right.
aside
It
from
climbs slowly.
5-star guys will want to come to you, but
Right.
But
But more importantly, it should matter more when you're low prestige.
yeah, well, but also like making your stadium bigger and shit like that, like.
That's not.
Yeah,
like,
I
When we
understand.
talked to Matt Brown, we learned that like those stadiums are licensed also.
Well, but you know what they could do though? They could just say like, dude, your capacity just goes up without having to like.
yeah,
actually
that's
read
fair.
it. I mean,
right, just give you the benefit of it without
Yeah.
having to change the way the stadium
exactly.
looks.
Yeah, they could just give
that's
you the
fair.
benefit of it.
Right.
Or maybe now it's a harder ticket to get or something. I don't
Right.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, the last thing to discuss on this is team builder.
Yeah,
On
team
that
builder.
note. So let's give recruiting a grade. I would give recruiting like a
It's a B+.
plus. Yeah.
It's a B plus.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, so team builder.
Yeah.
I know you don't have much experience with
No,
it.
I mean when it was all internal,
Yeah.
I liked team builder a lot. When you could just
Right.
kind of go through the options and
Right.
select your team. Now it's fucking high tech.
Yes.
Like you really need a computer. You need
Right. And we learned from having Shane Steins on that you need like a graphics computer and like
Yeah, and-
you need software.
Yeah, and the guys that are really good at team builder,
They can make fucking amazing teams.
dude, they can make some fucking amazing teams. And
Right.
I think, I mean, even though I don't utilize it,
Right.
a level of amazing team, I give the team builder a fucking solid A.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
the only thing that would put it over to A+ is better stadiums.
yeah,
Like varied stadiums.
Yeah, well, it's generic
Generic
stadiums.
stadiums,
Give
yeah,
me
yeah.
generic stadiums,
Right, and now it's an A+.
and the ability to put your logo on those generic
Yeah,
stadiums.
yep, exactly.
And so that this way, the stadium feels like it's your home.
Right.
I think that would be a big thing.
Yeah.
Overall, between the schedule making and I do think they need to fix that a little bit. The big leap, and this would have to just be in another episode, is the ability to make everything mobile on your phone, like an app.
Yeah, I had heard that something like that is coming in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like you should be able to do your recruiting on your phone.
Stuff. Everything but the game itself.
Yeah, you should be able to just do that shit.
Yeah, I agree.
Roster
roster
fuckery,
right.
everything.
Yep, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Right. And that seems like that would be achievable. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So, man, I mean...
Good game.
Yeah. I mean, overall, dude, it's really strong. If you... if somebody told me, look, I'm not buying 26, I'm just going to ride out 25 for the
If it weren't for this podcast, I would not buy 26. I could play 25 for another decade.
Dude, yeah, I could easily play it for 10 years. And that to me, says enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could play it for 10 years. So.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Dude. Good job, us. Yeah, let's get to that final sponsor and get out of here. Yep, that's all right. All right, the sponsor for the week is Strawberry Week Moon Cups.
Oh, boy.
Fellow listeners, do you find your ladies' visits from Aunt Flo to be overwhelming? Do the prices of feminine products have you seeing red? Do you worry about the environmental impact of free bleeding? Plus, it's bad for your carpet.
And there's also bears.
And bears, that's right. Say goodbye to expensive and disposable products like crammers and sanitary pads and say hello to Moon Cups from Strawberry Week. Our handy step-by-step guide shows you how to properly insert our Moon Cups using nothing more than a willing partner and a glass coffee table.
Nice.
And once the cup fills up, simply discard the fluid into a sealed container and take it to any nearby facility that processes industrial waste. Nothing could be simpler. Strawberry Week Moon Cups, saving the world one cup at a time.
All right. I think that's an excellent read. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting good at that.
Yeah.
Starting to get the hang of it.
All right.
When it's a product you believe in, you know?
Yeah, dude, it really flows off the tongue. Yeah. All right. For Anthony Scafacci. For Alan Gigax. This is the Scafacciverse podcast. We are out.